Do you need a mobile app, but don't have the knowledge to build one? Let AppyPie do the heavy lifting for you. Launch your app in minutes with no coding knowledge when you use AppyPie. Over 7 million apps have been created with our drag and drop app builder. Our stunning designs and features will make your app stand out amongst the other apps out there. Go to mobileapp.cmspn.com and start your killer app today.
CHRIS Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin, and joining me today is a band that, if you guys aren't aware of these guys by now, you just suck, because they have been putting out great music for well over a decade, and they continue to do so with their brand new release out April 29th called AUTOMATON. It is a Crashdiet, of course, and joining me from Crashdiet to talk all about it are Martin and Peter. Martin, Peter, how are you guys?
Great.
All good here. Thanks.
Excellent. Well, guys, got to tell you, I know everybody's probably telling you the same thing, but once again, another killer record, man. Fantastic stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure. Well, guys, let's talk about this record for a little bit. I mean, obviously, it's a very difficult time, not just for you guys, but for everybody, with the pandemic and, trying to write music and put out music and not make music that's just depressing and awful because of the circumstances. So talk a little bit about writing this one. Was it different for you guys, or did you guys just kind of follow the same pattern, or what?
Well, we had a lot more time to do writing sessions, and I mean, it was more spread out, but I think we did it in the same way. It just took a lot more time because we had a lot more time, and I guess we tried to be optimistic about the feel of the songs, try to make happier songs. I think you can hear some of that on the record.
Sure.
No, we didn't want to write about COVID because
nobody wants to do that.
It wouldn't age so well, I guess.
Sure, certainly. Well, and the thing about this record is it's everything that you expect from Crashdiet. It's high energy. It's it's catchy. It's big arena sound. It's everything that you guys normally do. And I'll be honest, I get 1,000 records a week, and you guys are one of the few that have been able to do that. So many of the records that have come by in the last, I'll say 6-8 months, have just been this dreary, depressive thing. And that's a testament to you guys to actually push through that and still make a record that appeals to your audience, which really just wants to have a little bit of fun for an hour, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's want it. To play rock and roll.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Now at this point with Crashdiet, and anybody that doesn't know should know, you guys have had that revolving door of singers, and some for some reasons that could obviously not be helped, but for some that it just didn't fit. Gabriel's been in the band now pretty much as long as anybody, I believe. So now that
that's actually
right.
true.
Yeah.
Well, now that you guys have been together for a while and you really have gotten to know, what everybody does, do you feel like that singer carousel has finally stopped and he's like the guy that's always going to be the guy?
Yeah, we hope so. because you get tired from changing singers all the time.
You have to restart.
Yeah.
Start from scratch every time.
Right.
It's a hassle.
Sure. And I have to imagine that in each time it almost feels like you're restarting the band, right? Just because you're having to learn a new guy, learning how they do things, how they phrase things, which is probably different from the last guy, which is different than what you guys know. It almost has to feel like rebuilding your band, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
And we have to convince the fans that
Again,
that we're still.
Here we have a new guy, but he's cool.
We're still in the same band.
Yeah.
Right. Certainly. Well,
But I mean, Gabriel feels he's pretty easygoing. He's not that difficult to be around. So I think it's gonna last.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah.
certainly.
This time.
Well, and I'm curious on it just because I didn't ask you guys this the last time I chatted with you, on the last record. How much, not only Gabriel, but everybody that you've brought in over the years, how much input do you give them on the music? Do you give them full input like you would a quote unquote full band member, or do you guys still kind of craft everything and then maybe a couple of ideas slip in?
I think we've always given them like full, like do as much as you feel like.
Yeah.
If you want, like, as long as it's good, we want them to feel like a fourth member, not like a session singer.
Yeah, of course.
And I always think vocals come out better when the singer is involved in like lyrics and melody. It just becomes more personal than if we were to like have every song finished and then he just replaces the vocals. I mean, that's happened also, but not as often, not on like every single song,
Sure, definitely. Now, I'm gonna make a guess, and you guys could tell me that I'm full of shit, because that's fine if I am. But you guys have been through so many different things. I mean, Crashdiet, more than just about any band, has been through so many obstacles, and members passing away, and label changes, all the different things. I'm gonna guess that because of that, you guys might have been more conditioned than a lot of bands to be able to survive something like the pandemic, just because you guys have beaten adversity so many times that you start in the place of going, okay, well, this is fucked up, but we gotta power through. Do you feel like that's fair?
Well, I can't say that the pandemic was an easy survival thing. It's been even though we haven't. Well, we worked on the album pretty much. We haven't done anything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
But it's been strange, to not be able to play shows, and just it's such a huge part of why you're in a band, to play live a lot. And with that missing, I mean, the dynamics in the band become very strange at times, and that wouldn't happen if we all meet up in some city and play a show.
Yeah,
sure. When you guys were writing the new material, were you able to get together to do it, or did you do it the way that a lot of people are doing it, over Zoom or over emails, and hey, here's my part, let's see what you can do? I mean, how did you do it?
I mean, we do it. We did it as we always have done. It's like we make demos one-on-one. Like I sit in my studio and make my demos, and I bring in the singer and work with him, and Eric does the same in his studio. So we're never, well, it happens, but we're not very often in the same room, the whole band, when we write songs.
Sure. and so, I mean, that's probably it made it easier to write music that sounded exactly as Crashdiet normally does, because you didn't really have to change anything to do the record, no? Good question. or maybe I'm looking too deep into it, because
Yeah, I think we just like we're happy that we managed to make another record during the pandemic. It was frustrating at times. Not because we couldn't meet up. It's just like the dynamic of not having played shows for a long time, and then we're supposed to go into studio and have fun together. But it was fun in the end. So
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Man. Well, the big change, I guess, for Crashdiet this time is new label. Golden Robot here in the States is the label for Crashdiet. How do they come into the picture? It seems like every other release I get now comes from Golden Robot. It seems like they're really making a push to sign a lot of established bands and get a lot of music out from a lot of you guys that have been more established. So how did you end up with Golden Robot?
I guess they contacted our manager.
I think so.
We did pitch for we did shop for a new label before the album was finished.
Yeah.
And then we kind of like settled on Golden Robot.
Yeah.
I think we made a quite fair deal with them, and we'll see how it goes.
Again, like everything else with Crashdiet, it's a starting over process. Got to kind of see how it feels, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, guys, at this point, what does a label offer you? Is it more or less just like, do they just offer distribution to get the music out there, or do they do something to help you get tours, or no? Or I mean, I never understand at this point what a label does that helps you guys that you guys couldn't do yourself.
I guess they're more like a distribution channel these days. When bands do all of their like online presence mostly by themselves.
Yeah.
So it's more like the administration of putting out an album is it's a lot of work, and they have this system for that, and they just push a button and the record comes out.
So in essence, you guys just do your thing and you hand it off and you're like, okay, let's go. Where do we show up to tour?
That's how we would like to have it.
Yeah, right on. Well, obviously, man, on the new release, there is one song that features Michael Starr from Steel Panther. Showed up on Powerline. How did you guys end up working with Michael?
We happen to know that they're Crashdiet fans, and we met them a few years back. We played the same festival, I think, in Sweden.
Yes.
And super nice guys. So when the question came up about maybe having a guest singer on the album, Steel Panther popped up in our minds, and we just contacted him and popped the question, and he was like, "Yeah, man, let's do it."
That's pretty easy. When you guys do stuff like that, when you go and get a guest, I'm assuming that part of it is easy, and then once you guys all come to the agreement of, yeah, cool, we'll do a song, then it gets to be messy with all the management and all the contracts and all that stuff.
Yeah, actually, this went fairly easy and
right on.
I can't find the word.
Nice. Well,
it went fairly easy this time with Michael Starr.
Well, guys, you guys just released a new video today for Together Whatever, which is just a great, energetic, fun tune. So tell me about the song and the video itself.
Yeah, it's a kind of celebration of our past 20 years with everything that's happened, but we kind of just look back at all the singers we've had, and every singer has made us bigger in a way, you know, on every album. So every singer is important, and we wanted to show that in the video by having like clips of crazy stuff that's happened in the past. So it's kind of, it's a celebration of what,
well,
what
it's
has
definitely
been.
a fun video, and again, like I said, the song is awesome. The song is just a lot of fun. So, you know, if nothing else, even if you don't watch the video, it's a cool song. So people should definitely check that one out.
Yeah.
Now, today's world, you guys know this as well as anybody. If you guys would have come out in 1989, you guys would have sold 10 billion records at this point, you know, but today's world, it's all different. It's not about selling anything, I don't think. It's more about getting streams and getting heard, and, you know, it's a different environment. At this point, what keeps you guys doing full-length releases instead of going the route that so many are doing, which is just do a single or two and then go tour it for a while? I mean, obviously the pandemic kind of stopped that for this, but what stops you from doing it that way and, you know, still kind of doing it the old school way of putting together 8, 9, 10 tracks and then, you know, putting out an album?
Well, for one, we have a lot of fans who wants to collect physical products. So that's, I think, the big reason to actually put out an album. But we have been talking about not doing it, you know, trying the
single wrote.
Yeah, I mean it.
Because it's such a hassle.
Well, and I think that's it. Is you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Either way you do it. If you do a full-length album, that what ends up happening is people listen to it a couple times and then it's gone. And, you know, you guys spend a year on it, but people spend a day on it, and that's, you know, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But the other way, when you do a single, people may just hear it the one time, so they might give you 3 minutes of attention instead of instead of like an hour's worth of. So, I guess there really is no right way to do it yet, you know, or maybe both ways are the right way to do it, and you know.
Yeah, I would say that.
I think it's like a personal thing that I'm still into albums. I don't like listening to playlists with a lot of mixed songs.
Yeah.
I want to hear like the full. It's a piece of art, you know.
Yeah.
From beginning to the end, and it's recorded at the same time, and it should be listened to like from beginning to end.
Definitely. And you know the weird thing too, and we talk about this all the time on the show here, is the big companies that provide the streaming services, they're almost geared against guys like Crashdiet or bands like Crashdiet, you know, and I talk about this all the time because it drives me crazy. If I listen to a band like Crashdiet or Crazy Licks or somebody like that, no matter what, whenever the playlist I'm listening to ends or the album that I'm listening to ends, inevitably they're feeding me Flying High Again by Ozzy or Cherry Pie by Warrant. You know, it's like okay, can't you tell that I'm trying to listen to something new that sounds like this? But inevitably they give me Round and Round, you know, the same old things that probably benefits them from a financial standpoint, but it doesn't help you guys grow.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird how that works, but well, in any event, one thing that should be working, though, is the new release from Crashdiet. Everybody should check it out. It is called AUTOMATON, and it is out on April the 29th. And guys, where should we tell people to go online to keep up with Crashdiet and tour dates and, you know, buying the record and all that stuff?
Crashdiet.org, simply.
Yeah.
Okay.
ORG.
Excellent. Everything is kind of based off of there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And we have all the social media everywhere, but it's all connected to the website.
Excellent. Well, one more time, the album is called Automaton. It is Crashdiet. And guys, thank you so much for joining me on Chris Akin Presents.